Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to Dreamcatcher. In the last part, we were attacked by an assassin, like a ninja type person, and we're kind of wondering why they're after us. Hopefully we'll find out right now. Do you want a recap? No, we remember. It was only just now, so let's do it. Riza moves briskly through the forest, looking for a good place to portal back to Earth. She doesn't exactly know why she's running away, other than being shaken by the murder attempt. She hopes her friends are still alive when she returns, if she returns. She locates an open space and opens a portal, the process now second nature to her. She makes a mental note of what the clearing looks like for later, and steps into the gate world. She ignores the golems milling around as she crosses the expanse to the Earth Gate, and passes back through into her bedroom. We are leaving. Riza stands in the centre of her bedroom for a moment, looking aimlessly around as it dawns on her that she doesn't actually have anything to do there. Finally, she picks up her cell phone and sees that she has a text from Suzumir. Ice cream, you, me, Mel, tonight at 8. Be there. Okay. Is someone picking me up because I still don't have my license? When are you going to get that thing? They don't have buses at college, you know. But anyways, yeah, I'll pick you up. I thought the point was to live in the dorms and walk to class in college. You're not going to live in any dorms and you know it. Good point. You put in any applications yet? No. Have you taken your SATs? Nope. I've been trying to convince the counsellor that taking a year off isn't going to kill me. Yeah, so we're travelling to and from, you know, our world to the fantasy world. So this is back in the real world, so to speak. Good luck with that. You'd swear their salary rides on how many college apps they get people to fill out. Did you know the schools charge you for the applications? Yeah, I know. It's super sketchy. Right, but anyway, I'll see you tonight. Yeah, thanks. Riza sets the phone down and her eyes fall on an old video game console, collecting dust next to the TV, and I see a GameCube as well. She brushes it off and pops in the disc of an RPG she's already played through a few times. Picking up a controller, she lets herself get lost in yet another fantasy world. Later that evening, Riza waves to her parents as she heads out the door following a horn beeping in her driveway, and climbs into the back of Suzume's hand-me-down hatchback car. It took you long enough. Shut up, we were finishing dinner. Oh yeah, I forgot your family eats like super late. This is early for us. God, my parents are serving dinner at 5 PM on the dot. They're like on farmer's time. At least your folks make dinner. Last time my mum tried to cook, the dog wouldn't even eat it. We subsist almost entirely on TV dinners and takeout. Which is why we're getting ice cream, to ease the pain of family dinners. Let's go before all the parking spots are gone. Ice cream time. Riza stares blankly into the half-melted surface of her ice cream cone as it drips onto the picnic table, tuning out Mel and Suzume's conversation while her mind wanders back to Sanvalet. She replays the encounter with the girl from earlier in her head. Narako, was it? She doesn't understand. Why would anybody want to harm her? And then it's however she knows Damien. Yo, you in there? Mel waves a hand in front of her face. What? Why are you so spacey? Oh, I'm just tired, I guess. Stayed up late playing video games last night. Don't you know those things will rot your brain? I mean, yeah, I can testify to that. Suzume gives her best mocking old person impression, wagging a finger in her face. I figure there are worse things I could be doing. True. One thing, though. What's that? Your ice cream's about to... She trails off as the wad of ice cream slides off of Riza's cone and onto the table with a wet splat. The three girls stare at it as the melted bits begin to drip through the holes in between the wooden slats. Do you want to get another? No, it's just been that kind of day. As Suzume pulls out of her driveway a bit later, Riza unlocks her front door to find the house dark and silent, save for the slight rumble of her father snoring through her parents' bedroom door. She quietly climbs the stairs, showers, and considers just going to sleep herself and putting off her problems until morning, being that she's been awake nearly for a full 24 hours now. It turns out that crossing through the time-bending interdimensional gates on the regular isn't really conducive to healthy sleep patterns. However, she knows that this isn't going to solve anything, plus she's already starting to miss it. Ice cream and video games are nice, they're simple, but they're not fulfilling. They don't make her happy. Sighing, she holds out the Dreamstone to open a portal and steps back through the gate. Gets some sleep though. She knows not much will have changed since he left, and decides to explore the forest for a bit, eventually coming to a clearing with a stream running through it. Some of the landscapes on Sanvley are nothing short of idyllic, many having been untouched by man. She sits down on a rock at the edge of the stream, kicking her feet back and forth in the cool water. She yawns, the quiet bubbling of the stream setting her at ease. She pulls her feet out of the water and lays back on the rock, staring up at the dappled rays of sun that peek through the trees. Just a few minutes won't hurt, she thinks, and closes her eyes. Riza awakens with a start to find it dark, seemingly the dead of night. The moon now peers at her curiously through the treetops instead of the sun, as if wondering what she's still doing on the rock. Hesitantly, she makes her way back to the campsite and finds it quiet. Damien and Zan are out of sight, presumably sleeping. Luna is leaning against a tree on one side of the clearing, while Narako is seemingly tied to one on the other. She appears to be asleep as well. I wasn't sure you were going to come back. Where did you disappear to for so long? I fell asleep. Riza plops down on the ground next to her. Being attacked takes it out of you, I guess. I suppose it does. So, what are we doing with her? Just holding on to her right now. We can't very well let her go, in case she runs back to whoever hired her, and they send others. Hired? You mean she's getting paid for this? I'd think so. Aijin are professional assassins and mercenaries mostly. They don't often do things for free. Okay, hold on. Are you saying that there could be more people after me? It's certainly possible, yeah. But why? I don't really know myself. I guess it is that it's something to do with you being a dreamer. Why would that be? It's not like I've done anything wrong. Who cares if I'm a dreamer? You don't have to do something wrong to have a price on your head. Sometimes someone just finds your existence inconvenient. Who would... You know what? Never mind. This is making my head hurt. This is all speculation right now anyway. Unless she decides to talk about who her client is, which she probably won't. We're stuck. Maybe I shouldn't have come back. But you did. I know. Earth is just boring, I guess. A lot of times, I'd rather risk my neck here than just kind of shuffle aimlessly through life there. I'm sure there are some good things about it. I mean, sure there are, but it's all mundane. The only monsters I fight are fake ones in games. Isn't that a good thing? For my well-being, yes. For my sanity, not as much as you'd think. Riza pauses, leaning back against a tree. This is kind of what I always wanted, I guess. I grew up reading stories about all these great warriors going on fantastical adventures and leading exciting lives, and I always wished it were me. And now it is, it's really real, and everything here just seems so vibrant and exciting compared to Earth, and even me. I'm really not like this at all at home. I feel like this place brings out the person I want to be, instead of who I normally am. You mean you want to be reckless and frustrating? Riza laughs. Trust me, it is an improvement. Wow, yikes. Yeah, I don't even want to go back most of the time. And when I'm there, I'll spend all my time wishing I was here. But it is your home, isn't it? You got family and friends, right? Well, yeah, but... Then you should go back when you can. Don't abandon your home. You'll regret it later. Riza falls silent and looks up at her guardian, who's staring into the distance. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right. But either way, I'm going to bed for real this time. Luna nods, and Riza crawls into her tent. She curls up in the sleeping bag, and is asleep almost as soon as she hits the pillow, too exhausted even to dream. Gotta catch up on that sleep. So, we just gotta keep her tied up. Zan mutters to Riza the next day as they walk through a field of tall grass that waves idly in the breeze. Narako is being made to walk in front of Luna, wrists still tired, with Damien hovering uncertainly nearby. You got a better idea? He shrugs. Drop her off in Red Cross? We can put her in a cell at least. We're like a million miles from Red Cross for starters. Well, not really. I'm not that far at all, actually. Okay, well, we're not turning back right now. Shouldn't we at least untie her if we're going to be keeping her around? Are you crazy? What's stopping her from killing me then? You know that she can break out of the ropes if she wants to, right? What do you mean? Well, I don't know a whole lot about Aijin. but they're supposed to be pretty hard to restrain. Supposedly they have special training on how to break out of captivity. I think she's just still here because she wants to be. Riza stares at him in disbelief. That has to be a rumour, right? Zan shrugs. Who knows? I never met one before now. Riza glances nervously over her shoulder at the ninja girl. Great, just when I thought I could sleep at night. Don't worry, if Luna doesn't protect you, I can. Zan grins and flexes his arms. What do you do anyway? I mean, besides your little fireball trick. It's not a trick, it's magic. He summons the group of fire sprites that hover around him to his hand. They form a ball, which becomes a flame. I'm a fire mage? Okay, so what do fire mages do? He gives her an exasperated look. What does it look like? Like your fireball trick again? I can do more than that. Okay, let's see it. Do you want me to set the whole field on fire, because that's what's going to happen? Riza looks around at the dry grass. Fair enough. Seriously though, what is the deal with mages? Are you born one, or do you have to learn it? It's a bit of both. Zan waves his hand to make the fireball disperse back into the sprites. It's not an inherent power, like what Ignay have, but it does tend to be something that's passed down in families. Both of my parents are mages. There are schools for it too. Okay, there are different kinds of mages? Yeah, everyone specialises in a certain element. Obviously mine's fire, but there's water, lightning, stone, wind, ice, and a bunch of others. People tend to pick their element pretty early on, and once you learn one, it's just about impossible to learn the others. Why is that? It's hard to explain. It's like, you know how they say when you lose one sense, the others get stronger? It's the reverse of that. Every element kind of taps into a different part of you and your energies, and once you get good at channeling one, it opens that particular pathway up wide, but makes it really hard to access the others. I only kind of followed that. Yeah, it's hard to grasp unless you grew up around it. Anyway, different elements do different things usually. Water mages tend to be healers, for example, and stone mages are usually builders or architects. Forest mages are gardeners, I guess. Okay, so what are fire mages? Artisans and performers. Blacksmiths, glassblowers, fire dancers, etc. He waves a few of his sprites down, keeping them well away from the grass, and makes a few hand motions. They take the shape of a flaming butterfly. Anyway, ice mages are kind of on the other side of our coin. They tend to be sculptors. I feel like water and ice should be the same thing. They're similar, yeah, but they got different skill sets. Water mages can manipulate water, but can't change its temperature. That's weird. Anyway, how much farther to the library? Almost there. With that, he waves the butterfly away, and they continue forward. We're almost at this library. Found it. Is this it? After stumbling their way through a thick forest, Riza complaining all the way as their feet get tangled in brush and vine, they arrive at a large dilapidated building in a sunny clearing. It's covered in ivy, and the phoenix and thunderbird statues out front are discoloured with lichen. This is it. Not too many come out here, so keeping the outside clean isn't really at the top of the priority list. They ascend the stairs, and Zan shoves open the massive double doors. Anyone home? Mr. Totem? Monty? Anyone? A voice comes out from behind one of the shelves. Zan, is that you? A young man steps out, probably a couple of years older than Riza. He has shaggy brown hair under a hat, glasses, and slightly pointed ears. Monty. Zan jogs up to meet him. Long time no see. It has been, yes. What brings you all the way out here? You know, it's kind of a long story. I should probably introduce everyone first. Bit of a funny group we got here. Oh yeah, who are your friends? And why is one of them tied up? That's an even longer story. I see. Well then, allow me to introduce myself first. The name is Montague. I'm the apprentice librarian here. Most people call me Monty. I'm Riza. This is Luna, Damien, and well, she's not important. Riza indicates Nirako. Just ignore her. Okay. So the gist is that we came here looking for some books on the Dreamers. We were hoping that maybe Mr. Totem could help us find information on them. Monty shifts uncomfortably. I'm not really sure he'll be able to help you. Why not? He's a little off these days. You see, there was this very large book, and well, it doesn't matter. I'll assist you. Come along. What happened? They follow Monty into the main foyer of the library, where they split into groups. Riza, Zan and Monty go one way, with Luna, Damien and the captive Narako go another. Riza is briefly concerned that Damien might never come out once lost in the labyrinth of shelves containing thousands of books for him to read, but hopes Luna will be able to keep him on task. As they search a small room full of historical texts, Riza stops to examine a decorative globe on the table. Is this a globe of Sanvalet? She spins it idly. Looks like Earth to me. Yeah, it is. Riza reads the name of the continents as she spins the globe. Recenthia, Terrasuena, Amatiera, Aitaki, Cartesia, Cretacia, Elasia. Hey, Zan, which continent are we on? Recenthia. He sets some books down and begins to flip through them. Riza spins the globe some more, squinting at it a bit. Something feels familiar about it. She pauses on Recenthia, examining it more closely. It sort of looks like... Brow furrowing, Riza looks back at the other continents. They all look very familiar. The more she stares at them, looks like Africa to me. Recenthia bears a striking resemblance to North America, and Terrasuena to South America. Elasia looks a lot like Australia. Cretacia reminds her greatly of Europe, and the similarities don't end there. I think this is a map of Earth. What? No, it's Sanvalet. It's totally Earth though. Let me see. Zan stands and walks over to the table, where he spins the globe a few times. This is definitely Sanvalet. Then why is everything shaped like it is on Earth? This is quite the conundrum. Riza and Zan both pause and turn to the source of a strange voice. Who dis? Between them stands an elderly man with thick glasses that makes his eyes look much too large, a moustache and a small tuft of white hair on top of an otherwise bald, liver-spotted head. He's peering at the globe curiously with wide eyes. Oh, hi, Mr. Totem. Zan and Riza take a few careful steps away from the old man, who's standing uncomfortably close. Oh, hello, ducks in a row, ducks in tow, ready to go. What are we talking about? Zan, is he always like this? Zan takes a breath before responding with a simple no. Monty, I think there's something wrong with Mr. Totem. Monty rushes in, grabbing the elderly man's shoulders and stopping him in the middle of some kind of jig. Oh, I thought he was preoccupying himself elsewhere, I'm sorry. Monty, what's wrong with him? Okay, well, a few months ago, there was this rather large book, and we were trying to put it back on the shelf, and it kind of hit him on the head, and he's been kind of like this ever since. The old man rapidly spins the globe around, laughing gleefully. A book? I mean, how much damage could a book do? It was that one. Monty points to a tome sitting on the table in the corner of the room. It's nearly as large as the table itself, and half a foot thick. Oh, a lot of damage then. Yes. This is really weird. Zan watches the old man pirouette around the room, reciting nursery rhymes. He was always so uptight, demanding, a regular stick in the mud. Yeah, that. The apprentice sighs. Honestly, it's not so bad. He can still take care of himself, and still seems to know the library quite well. He's just a bit more upbeat. I think it might be an understatement. Mr. Totem dances by, singing a rhyme about slugs in the store. He may still be able to help you, if you can get him to stop dancing. Riza catches the old man as he makes his way by again. Hey, what do you know about the Dreamers? Mr. Totem stares back at her. Dreamers? Yeah, Dreamers. Old legend, beings from another world and all that. Mr. Totem looks thoughtful. Dreamers, you say? Yes. Very interesting, the Dreamers. Do you know about them then? Yes. Riz's excited look fades as the seconds pass and he doesn't continue. Well, you gonna tell us or not? I will not. Riz's eye twitches. What? Riza shakes the old man. We came all this way to find out about this stuff and you say you know and you're not gonna tell us? That's correct. Why? Mr. Totem removes himself from her grip and gracefully skips out of reach. He peeks around the doorframe after swinging through it. One should learn about themselves by themselves, Miss Wolf. I suggest a mythology section. There's a surprising amount of truth in it. Riza stares after him. How did you know my... He disappears from sight before she can finish, however. Well, to the mythology section then, I guess. In the mythology section, they find the other half of the group. What's wrong with you? I don't want to talk about it. Did you guys find anything? A little bit. I found a few pages about it in here. He holds out a book simply titled Mythology, no points to the author for creativity. Riza takes it and opens it to a page he has dog-eared. It talks about the Dragon Wars some more. Apparently, it's sort of a mystery what the dragons were fighting over, but there were two factions, each led by one of the two most powerful dragons. They both had some of the other dragons on their side, as well as armies of other creatures. However, friendly fire casualties were common because the dragons were often reckless and didn't value their subordinates much. You're really paraphrasing. Riza reads over the passage he's referencing. But yeah, I get it. It was bad time. Sure seems that way, which is probably why a bunch of people got together and wanted to stop it. And that's how we wound up with the Dreamers. That's it. Everyone turns to Monty, confused about the outburst. Sorry. It's just that I remembered where I'd heard about the Dreamers before. There's a whole book about them. Great, where is it? Well, one problem. What's that? It's not here. What? Well, it's been checked out. He scratches his head uncertainly. By who? When's it back? Monty shuffles uncomfortably. It was someone from my hometown, an elderly woman. Phaedra, I believe. At this, Nireko speaks up suddenly. Phaedra? That's not Phaedra 80, is it? Monty looks surprised. It is. You know her? Nireko looks away. Phaedra 80 is my grandmother. Before Riza can respond, Damien steps in. She's from your hometown, Monty? Then you're from Gavenel? He nods. I am. Okay, because I was wondering, and I hope this isn't offensive, but you don't look like an elf exactly. More like a half-elf. I know, I am. Much like your friend here. Hang on, what's a half-elf? Exactly what it sounds like. Half-elves have one elfin and one human parent. He pauses, shuffling comfortably. However, the elves aren't especially fond of interracial relationships. They're a proud people. They don't blame the children, but the parents of half-elves are exiled, and we're raised by an elfin relative. Oh, yeah. Most half-elves never know their parents. I didn't anyway, No. My grandmother raised me. I see. For me it was my uncle. He tried, but never really, well, let's just say elfin culture was a bit too conservative for me, so I wound up here. Before the awkward silence can go on for too long, Riza sighs. Okay, how long has this book been gone for? Monty thinks for a moment. I would say about a year now. Riza lets out a groan. Doesn't this place have due dates? Well, it is a private library. Very few people are even allowed to remove books, let alone those that do. Phaedra is an old friend of Mr. Totem's. Well, that's just great. Should have known the assassin would have delinquent relatives too. Damien turns to her, an irritated expression crossing his face. Really? What? She's an old lady. She forgets things sometimes. Don't judge people you don't know. Oh, sorry. I forgot you two were buddies. I apologise for assuming the worst of someone who literally tried to murder me. And she hasn't done anything since, but we still have her tied up like an animal. That's so she doesn't try it again. Riza, I literally robbed you the first time we met, and you're fine with me. That was different. Was it really? And trust me, if she wanted to hurt you, she would have by now. Oh, that's reassuring. That's not... look, we can't just drag her around like this forever. I agree, we can ditch her when we go pick up the stupid book. Damien rolls his eyes. Fine, whatever. Can we please take the stupid ties off at least? What good would that do? They're not doing any good now. What does that mean? He sighs and points at Nireko. Nearer. Wordlessly, the half-elf slips her hands out of the ties. Riza stares as the ropes fall to the floor. You should have made them tighter. Riza turns to Luna, who's rubbing her chin thoughtfully at the display. I had a feeling those shouldn't have been that effective. Riza's silent for a long moment, then turns and begins walking toward the library entrance. You know what? Let's just go. Luna looks at Monty. I guess we're leaving. Thanks for your help. She begins to follow Riza out the door. My pleasure. Damien rolls his eyes and follows as well. With the newly freed Nirako close behind, Zan lingers behind until they're out of earshot. Well, I guess it's back on the road. I realise they're kind of a strange bunch, but you know, they're growing on me. Zan, if I may ask, what are you really doing here? What do you mean? You know exactly what I mean. Zan glances at him and sighs. Then you know why I'm here, or why I'm somewhere other than Red Cross at least. Don't you think if he wanted to come home he would have by now? It doesn't matter what he wants, he's got responsibilities. Responsibilities that you don't want. Zan picks up his bag. I'm not cut out to be Mayor King. I don't want to be trapped in Red Cross forever. Neither did Xavier, apparently. Monty folds his arms. You really are brothers. Zan watches the others file out of the door. I've got to go. Zan? What? If you do find Xavier, hit him for me, would you? Oh, trust me, I plan to. Elsewhere? Oh, where are we going now? You're an idiot. The man at the desk pauses his writing and sets down his pen. And what, pray tell, makes you say that? The Aijin girl you hired? She's the kid's friend. They grew up together. She practically let herself be captured. Needless to say, she failed at her objective. I see. Well, that is a setback, yes. If you just let me know what the plan was, or at least who you were hiring, I could have stopped the whole thing before it started. Why won't you just let me take care of the dream? Before she could finish the sentence, there's a clawed hand around her throat, and she's pinned against the wall. The man easily holds her with one arm. It would do you well to remember that this is not a partnership, Salshira. I am not obligated to inform or consult you about anything. Make no mistake, you work for me. He drops her unceremoniously onto the floor. You also have a tendency to overreact. Now, go fetch Lumos for me. I've got a task for him. Salshira remains silent, staring up at him with wide eyes. I said now. She scrambles to her feet and quickly moves out of the room. The man brushes himself off and straightens his tie as he watches her retreat. This a bad dude. This a bad dude. Perhaps that was a bit much. No matter, there's business to be taken care of. And we've made it to the end of chapter 8. Okay, so we're still trying to find out more about the Dreamers. And I guess we've got a new lead. We're off to see Grandma. I wonder if she's a ninja herself. I guess we'll find out. And I'll check it out when the next episode is out. This is Usho signing off. And hopefully I will see you next time.